Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this new charger. It's the Hobby Porter M8S by ToolkitRC. It's a multifunctional smart charger. So we're going to take a look at that. It's not going to be a really in-depth review of this charger, but we'll take a look at some of the features. I'm not a smart charger expert by any means. Here's a charger right here. It's a little compact smart charger. So we're going to dig into this and go over some of the features right after this. Alright guys, so let's take a closer look at the ToolkitRC M8S charger. Now, if you hear that fan running here, that is actually the built-in cooling fan on this external power supply. Because as you can see with this little charger, this actually does not have its own internal power source. So you do have to supply one. And this is the one I have here that I picked up on Banggood. So you get yourself a decent external power supply, then you can, charge this thing up to, as you can see here, hopefully this shows up, but it says it can charge all the way up to 18 amps, 400 watts, 1 to 8S. So go all the way up to 8S on this little charger. Has XT60 connectors here. This is your output for the battery. As you can see, I got one laying here on the table. And then use an XT60 input, and like I said, this charger actually, this power supply comes with an XT60 output connection. You can then put into the charger, and then here's your balance plug pins here go all the way up to 8S. And on this side you've got a USB connection, and then you've got some little pins, I think, like hook up a receiver and stuff to this, because you can test that as well. And in this little box, they do give you, inside of the box, they give you, down below here, there is a micro USB cable and a little instruction manual. But you want to dig into the PDF that they have online to really get into features of this charger. You can see it says here 400 watts. It has a full color 2.4-inch TFT screen, multifunctional, different languages, and it comes in black and white. And this is, of course, black. So we'll set that out of the way. So to power this up, I'm just going to put the XT60 into the input here. So it says you can take between 7 and 30 volts. I believe that this power supply is 24 volts, I think. So I'm just going to go ahead and plug that in, and it will power up there. Scoot it back some so we get it into the frame. And you just use this little dial, and that lets you move it. It's on charger. You've got your measurer that lets you measure like the resistance to see in the cell balance. This will let you see if you have a lot of resistance. You can just press down to click OK. And there's other menus in here, but on this main one you can then dig in to see if there's a lot of resistance on the battery and the cells. That tells you your battery is starting to go bad. Let's go ahead and just press exit to go back. You've got there's output and there's a settings screen. Now on the charging screen, that's the one most of us are going to use. Press down on that, and you've got on your LiPo here battery type, and it says LiPo. You can change this to like lithium ion or LiFe. I think it'll do PB, lead acid type. You have your in voltage, and I know this may not be easy to see, so I'll kind of try to hold this up at an angle, guys. And then you've got your number of cells, which I have set to auto, so it'll automatically detect, but you can manually set that. Your current charge current, which you can go all the way up to 18 amps if you have a really big milliamp batteries out there. In the case of, say, like this battery here, I got one of these Blackmagic 4S 1500. This one I would obviously charge at 2C, which I could charge this safely at 3 amps. And then it has a discharge current you can set in here too. And you can also set up like a profile for a battery and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm not a charging expert here. I was asked to review this, so I'm just going to kind of go over the general things that I would do. And like I said, there's your measure. You can also test PWM, PPM, S-bus, and ESCs. So that's the test signals. Here's your output, and that's also doing some of the same. And then your settings over here, you've got your lowest input power, which your watts there. It's got temperature settings, safe temperature. That's probably for a warning. Discharge mode down here. This is set the internal. You can set this. Internal means it's going to use an internal resistor at a very slow rate to discharge a battery. Let's say you want to discharge your battery down to storage voltage. 3.8, 3.85 volt per cell. If you have a very full battery, that's going to take a very long time, and it dissipates a lot of heat as it does that. But if you get into this, you can actually change this to recycle. And recycle mode lets you hook another battery, let's say a discharge battery you already have laying around, into the power source side, and then your other battery into the other side, and you can dump the voltage from one battery into the other, and this is really fast. It'll dump those at a really high amp rate across into the other one, and you can discharge one pack, throw in the battery power into the other. But I'm not going to demonstrate that. I'm going to put it back to the internal. So what we'll do here before we end this review, because this is not going to be super in depth, is we'll put it on the charger, and I'll go ahead and let's hook this battery up to it. So let's hook this one up here. So let's go ahead and make sure I got it the right way, plug that in, then you can see positive is off to this side. So let's go ahead and get the pins correctly plugged in. We got this all set up. I got it set to auto, it's LiPo battery, and 3 amps is what I'm going to charge this one at. So I think it's to go down to, go down to charge by pressing OK. We got charge here. And again, this should all be right. Press OK. And then you want to confirm. We're going to charge this one to 16.8 volts. It's 4S. And it's going to beep there. And now we've got the readings. We've got the voltage of the pack. And then we've got the amp rate. It's going at about, just a hair over 3 amps, 23%. And so all your information. And here's the cells. They're all on that 3.8 to 3.85 because I keep all my batteries at storage voltage. All right, so I can press exit to stop because I don't want to, and press OK to stop working. Oops, I think, yeah, there we go. We're out of it. I don't want to charge it anymore because I want to keep it at storage voltage since it's winter time and I don't have the racers out in this kind of weather. All right, guys, again, this is not a really in-depth review, but this is a nice little charger. I think it runs in the $50, $60 range for this charger. Then you're going to look at another $20 to $30 for an external power source. But you're getting a nice portable charger that can do way more than even what I'm explaining here. But just for a basic, just charging charger to check your resistance and your voltage, all that, it's good to go. Now, obviously, out of the box, even with a power supply, it's just set for a single battery. You can obviously use a parallel charging board. Make sure you get one with a good one with fuses in it, so you don't have, so you really will make it much safer, and you can prevent a fire. Those really cheap parallel boards without fuses are fire hazards. That's why I don't like to even mess with those. But a good one with fuses should be okay. And then you can charge obviously a lot more batteries, especially the fact that this can really extend to a lot of amps as long as you have a good external power supply. You can charge a lot of batteries up with this, and it's so portable. You can take it in the field. You can, you test your batteries, charge it in the field. If you have another external power supply to use with it, like a big giant battery of some kind, and your USB on the side here, you can obviously use this to charge up your smartphone or whatever like that, So, all right, guys, that's wrap up this quick kind of not really in depth, but overview of the ToolkitRC M8S. It's Hobby Porters actually who sells this, so that's why you see me saying 2 different names. I'll put a purchase link to this in the video description to Banggood, where you can pick this up. So be sure to check that out. I'll include any coupons if I have them. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, just ask me. I'll do the best I can to answer them. Be sure to like this video, and Click the bell so you know when I do upload new videos, guys. And as always, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.